Today we got back our long-awaited submission from AGS, also known as Robo Grading. We're going to talk about the quality, the cost, the turnaround time, and whether or not AGS grading is for you. What's up, everyone, and welcome to the channel. If this is your first time here, I'm Cody from Zelix Pokemart. We operate a small online store. If you do want to support the channel or the business, head on over to the link in the description below where you can check out our store, you can check out our Patreon, you can support the channel and business that way. We always appreciate any support. Before we get into today's video, make sure you do me a solid. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already and hit that notification bell. Also, feel free to leave comments down below as that really does help the algorithm and helps other people find this type of content. I actually heard about AGS grading a few months back and they really impressed me. AGS grading is a fully automated grading system. They can grade cards quicker than a human being can because it's all computerized. They build their own in-house robots to grade their cards. They can grade these cards faster than any human being. What's even better, with AI or computers or robots, you have more consistency. Consistency is a huge thing in the collectibles market nowadays. This is something that PSA, one of their biggest competitors, seems to struggle with. We're going to break open this box, see how harsh or lenient the grading scale really is. We're going to see if it's worth your bang for your buck. We're going to talk about the turnaround times and if AGS grading is meant for you. Now, before we unbox this submission, I just want to make a disclaimer that we are not sponsored by AGS, and this is a 100% transparent and unbiased review. On another note, we are participating in Leonhardt's NAMI fundraiser this year, and if you would like to donate towards mental health awareness, we will have the link in the description below. Any donation of $10 or more will get yourself entered into one of our prize pools for the end of the year, as well as being entered into Leonhardt's prize pool as well, which consists of several vintage booster packs, as well as a ton of singles, graded cards, and a ticket for Leonhardt's vintage pop-up shop next year. There are a lot of great prizes here, all while donating to an amazing cause. Alright, so for this submission, I'm going to try to keep the grades hidden, because I did not actually go ahead and look at the grades myself. I want this all to be a surprise, just as it is for everyone else here. We're going to basically go over my thoughts of what I think the grade should have been before looking at the grade, and see if maybe the grade is fair, or maybe if they're being a little bit harsh. Just like any other grading service, they do have different tier levels. You can get them graded for about $20 a card as of the time of this recording. Now, the $20 card service level will get you about a 28 to 30 business day turnaround time. Now, keep in mind, business days do not include weekends or holidays or anything like that. So, realistically, you're probably looking at about a month and a half turnaround time on average. However, that's just a rough estimate. I believe I waited about a month and a half for my submission to return. I do feel like that's very fair considering the high demand right now of grading cards. $20 a card is a pretty fair price considering the product did look pretty premium before submitting my cards. We're going to see if that is worth the price point. Now, if you're in a hurry and you don't want to wait 28 to 30 business days, they do have other options as long as you're willing to pay a little bit more per card. The $20 per card service level gets you up to $500 insurance, so that's pretty nice. Plus, I want to add that shipping is much more affordable over companies such as CGC or PSA. They don't charge you nearly as much for your return shipping, which is definitely a plus. That does save you a little bit of money there. So let's get into this and see what they're all about. Now, we have something here. It's a card. Thank you for your support with our pre-launch. So we actually did submit these during their pre-launch period because we were beta testing their app, which you can get right now for the iPhone. I do not know if they launched it yet for Android, but the app is actually pretty cool. You could pre-grade your cards on the app. Now, it's not going to be as accurate as the actual grading process. It gives you a rough idea what you can expect. You are a part of our first 20 shipments. We truly appreciate your business, the opportunity to grade your cards, and we look forward to serving you again. As a thank you for being an early adopter of our service, we have added one extra AGS slab for your collection. Stay tuned for future rewards. Thank you from the AGS team. So that means this card is a bonus card. We didn't submit this. That is a really cool thank you gift. First off, I do want to note that I think these slabs are really nice looking at it from the back. They're crystal clear, just like the CGC slab. This is a CGC slab right here. I'll take it out of the sleeve. Oh, I have a double sleeve. So it definitely compares to that. I like the look of the slab. I really do so far. And this is PSA. I'm not really a fan of that like cloudy look in the slab. They definitely have that one PSA. They do have a better looking slab so far. We didn't look at the front yet, but I'm actually curious to see what card this is. And we're going to try to cover up the grade. Okay, so we got a Celebrations Zekrom. And what is the grade? That is a mint 9. So if you look closely, one thing you notice, this is like a metallic blue border. And it's not like some bright in-your-face blue. It's a very bold, like, subtle blue. So this will definitely look good in a collection. I really like the slab. This is a metallic silver around their logo. Really like that. As well as their logo is all in the background here, which is pretty cool that they have that in the pattern like that. So this is pretty cool. It's very simplistic, the label itself. Like, it's not a lot of unnecessary stuff. And again, I really like the look of the slab. These aren't like super heavy, but they feel solid. Like they feel, they feel durable. And then you have the logo down there. It's a very nice looking slab. I actually like this. They feel really good in your hand. I would believe these would probably fit in the PSA slab sleeves. Yeah, they're about the exact same size, basically. Thickness-wise, they're very similar to a PSA slab with thickness as well. They're not quite as thick as a CGC. Actually, they're pretty close to CGC as well. Thank you so much for the free card. If you are watching this, I really do appreciate that. So this will be our actual submission in here. Hopefully, we pull these out in a way where I'm not revealing the grades. They already have them sleeved. I can feel that. Okay, so they are facing up actually right now. So our first card right here is the Alakazam from Expedition. Very beautiful card. I love this artwork. I'm a big fan of a lot of the e-readers. I think the arts are incredible. Expedition is an incredible set. So if my memory serves me correctly, all the Expedition cards were pretty much pack fresh. So these should be pretty high grades. I would say probably around a 9. I mean, a 10 I think would be possible. However, I'm not really sure how tough their grading scale is. So I would be very happy with a 9. So let's see what we got here. An 8.5. So I was pretty close. Definitely pretty close. It's a pretty solid grade. This is a beautiful card. Love the slab. There we go. So an 8.5. Definitely feel like that's a fair grade. Vintage cards are pretty hard to get high grades. Alright, so we'll keep all these face down here. Alright, next up is our Expedition Pikachu. I believe this is pretty much the same exact condition as Alakazam and the Charizard I sent in. So I would say a 8.5 to 9 would definitely be fair. 7.5. I wonder why this one got a 7.5. Because they were all pretty much pack fresh. It's probably something I definitely could not see with my eyes. Maybe a light scuff somewhere. I don't know. Still, I mean, for a vintage card, it's still a near mint card. So I still feel like that is pretty fair. Alright, next up, this would probably be our Charizard. No, it's our Erica's Clefable. Now, I did send in a few cards that were in the more played condition as well, because I wanted to kind of just get a good, accurate judgment of the grading scale, basically. So, like, I want to have an idea, like, what a played card would grade versus a near mint card. So this, I would say, was in pretty decent shape. Like, you could see right there, it's not, like, heavily scratched. And I don't see, like, no major whitening. Like, there's some, yeah. Nothing crazy. I would say probably in 7.5 to 8, maybe. 7.5, okay. Okay, that's definitely a very fair grade. For a vintage card, this is actually pulled out of a binder collection I bought up a few months back, so 7.5 is definitely a very fair grade. Oh, from the looks of it, I would say their scale is probably pretty close to what CGC does, whereas PSA is pretty lenient with their grades. Like, they just hand out 10s to a lot of people, like stuff that doesn't even deserve 10s half the time. Doesn't look like 10s are handed out here. Next up is a Venomoth. So this is a no symbol Venomoth. Now this one was played. As you can see here, it does definitely have some edge wear around the corners and whitening on the sides. Might not be that easy to see in the slab now, but scuffing in the hollow, you can see there. It's nothing crazy, no deep scuffs or nothing. I would say, if I were to send this to PSA, I'd say probably get a 6, maybe. Okay, a 5.5. So a little bit lower than I thought. However, like I said, this was a lightly played card, and 5.5 for a played card is pretty average. Happy to have this slabbed up. All right, next up is our Expedition Charizard. I sent this in just because I love this card. I would expect probably about an 8 to a 9 for the grade. I love the artwork on this. This one is not for sale, actually. So this one was not from our inventory. This is something I pulled from a collection I did buy a few months back. However, I pulled it and put it into my own personal collection because I did need this card, and I absolutely love this artwork. And I would say 8 to a 9 would be fair, and a near mint 8. I'm okay with that. That is definitely a fair grade for a card that was pulled from a binder. Love that card. Let me know in the comments below which one of these are your favorite. Next up, we have, alright, we're getting into all the juicy cards here. Salamence EX. This is from EX Dragon Frontiers. Very beautiful card. I would say this would probably be maybe a 7 to 7.5. Mainly because these older EXs are a little bit harder to grade. They have the edges that have all the hollow. And we got a 6.5. Okay. Now, this was a pretty near mint looking card. I wouldn't say I completely agree with the 6.5. I think that is definitely a little bit harsh. However, there could have been things I missed. Like I said, there's a lot of hollow on these. And actually, let's see. I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of hollow on these older EXs. So they are pretty tough to grade. Nonetheless, it's still a beautiful card. Happy to have it slabbed. I'll probably keep this in my personal collection. All right, next up is, all right, so now we have an EX Crystal Guardians Reverse Hollow Blastoise. Same deal with the last EX, basically. Reverse hollows are pretty difficult to grade from the Crystal Guardians. There's a lot of hollow in the card, so there's a lot more space for it to get scratched up. I would say, considering that last one got a 6.5, I mean, I would really hope for this to get like a 7.5 to 8. But I'm thinking that it's more likely to be closer to that 6.5. Okay, we got an 8. Wow. Okay, I'm very happy with that. Looked like it was a near mint card when I sent it out. And it did definitely come back as a near mint to mint. So that's definitely solid grade. Feel like that's very fair. Card only has a speck whiting there and that tiny speck there. When I sent it, I looked at all these cards under light. I didn't see any scuffing on the hollows. But like I said, that there is a lot of stuff that you can't see sometimes. And these are all scanned by a computer. So they don't miss anything. So, yeah, that's a beautiful card. I'm happy to have this slabbed. This is actually one of my biggest chase cards in Crystal Guardians. So I was very happy when I got that card. And I'm very happy to have that in my collection. Now, last but not least, we have one card left. I don't even remember what card this was. Okay, Dark Raichu from Team Rocket. This is one of the first secret rares that ever came out in the Wizards of the Coast era. Very happy to have this card as well. Pulled this from a vintage collection I bought up a little while back as well. This was not perfect. Definitely can see there. There's a little bit of whiting there. Little bit there, not much there. Overall, it's a near mint card, I would say. I was hoping this would be maybe an 8 to an 8.5. However, I'm kind of thinking maybe a 7 to a 7.5 would be more realistic. And let's see, a 6. Okay. Um, I mean, I definitely could have missed something on the hollow. Um, hmm. 6 is definitely a little bit lower than I was hoping, but I definitely could have missed something. Overall, I love the look of these slabs. So my final thoughts here. I actually really like the look and feel of these slabs. And for $20 in the turnaround time, I do think it's a very fair deal. Now, especially if you just want to encapsulate your cards for your own personal collection, I do think this is worth doing. Keep in mind, if you are trying to resell cards, AGS is still a very new company, and they won't demand the same type of premium as a PSA or a Beckett slab. With the demand nowadays, I do think that they'll eventually get there because they are offering a very premium product, and I do like the fact that they do not just hand out 10s. That was one thing I always talked highly of with CGC is they made getting a 10 a serious chase. It wasn't just submit your pack fresh card and come back at PSA 10. It was different. I also like the consistency here as well because you could see right here with the 2/8, they are basically the identical condition. Now keep in mind that this, yes, does have hollow, but overall the edges look the same, the corners look the same, and I like that type of consistency. That type of consistency I have not seen with PSA. I've had PSA 8 cards look to be in the exact same condition as a PSA 6 card in some cases. Consistency is a very big deal. Now it's your turn as the audience. I want to know what you think of AGS and let me know which one of these cards in this submission is your favorite. I really appreciate everyone's support, and as always, everyone, let's make like Charizard and keep this passion burning.